Hey folks, Kevin here. Well, it's December 13th, 2024, and since we're in the winter months here in the northern hemisphere, up in the upper near the Great Lakes, a lot of us use wood stoves to supplement or provide all the heat for our homes. And so as a result, there's some waste products, the ashes and the charcoal that are left over when we burn our wood. And today I thought what I'd do is talk a little bit about what are the benefits for our gardens, our compost, our leaf mold, our food forests, and all, and some of the things to be aware of, some of the drawbacks and some of the benefits of using wood ash in our gardens and in our composts and all. So the stoves are getting used now. Right now we got a nice little snowstorm going on outside, and I just started a fire, which means I cleaned out my ash bin at the base of our yodel stove, and I put those into a container bucket, a metal container bucket, so that we don't have to worry about there being a fire. And we'll keep those nice and dry before we add them to our leaf mold pile or to a compost pile or deposit them. So what are the reasons? Well, there's lots of macronutrients, micronutrients in the wood ash itself, and charcoal also improves soil structure, moisture retention, and it creates a microbial habitat. Now, don't be confused with the small charcoal chunks that are in your wood stove when you're comparing it to biochar. Biochar is the result of pyrolysis, an anaerobic lack of oxygen when we're creating biochar. So there's more, it's more porous, and therefore biochar is better for creating habitats for all the microbial organisms and all. However, charcoal is although it is not created through a process of pyrolysis, there's more oxygen in our wood stoves, and as a result, there's still beneficial microbial habitats, just not as much. The charcoal can absorb odors and toxins as well, stabilizing compost. Wood ash can also be used to deter certain pests in our gardens, the slugs, the snails, and help to reduce excess acidity of the soils. Now, certainly you wouldn't want to do this around your azaleas, your blueberries, your rhododendrons, any of the plants that really require acidic soil, but the wood ash can be used. And you do have to be careful with, besides just altering the pH of the soil, you really have to think about if this is going to be, you don't want to apply too much of it to the surface of the ground around your plants. It can actually create a corrosive chemical as a result of it, lye. So it's a really ecologically friendly way of utilizing a waste product that otherwise probably wouldn't be used. So here are some of the beneficial nutrients: the potassium, the calcium, the phosphorus, magnesium, and certainly we have the micronutrients: boron, copper, molybdenum, sulfur, and zinc. Never compost wood that's been. I never use the ash and the charcoal from wood that's been pressure treated wood or painted wood. There's heavy metals in there, and there are heavy metals even in our wood that doesn't have that, but it's very trace elements in our wood. So just be aware of that, what we're actually putting in our gardens and in our compost, because they're going to end up in us ultimately. Never mix your wood ash with high nitrogen fertilizers like ammonium sulfate, urea, ammonium nitrate. It's going to produce a toxic gas, ammonium gas. So be very, very careful with that. Challenges with using wood ash. Certainly it's going to raise the soil pH and make it too alkaline for blueberry plants. So you want to be really careful with that. There is a salt content with all of those minerals in the wood ash as well, and there could be trace amounts of heavy metals in the wood. Even it's good wood that you got from your wood lot, no paint, no pressure treated. there are trace elements in there that of heavy metals, so just be aware of that. But you know, the offset, if we're using it appropriately, using the wood ash and you know, not using too much of it at a time. So I think it's somewhere around, in my article that I posted on Mindful Living Sanctuary, it'll go over, you know, don't use more than, I think it's a pound of wood ash, which is quite a bit of wood ash per 1,000 square feet, something like that. So again, challenges: avoid treated wood or briquettes with chemicals, any of those things. I don't like the fire starters, some of the ones that you can buy in the stores. And I've made a video recently where I make our own fire starters using the paraffin, or you could use old wax candles. And I have a video on that to go over that. You know, and if we use too much ash, you're going to interfere with the microbial activity and kill off some of the beneficial and diverse populations of microbes in your soil. Best practices: know your soil pH before you start modifying your additives to the soil. Oh, here we are. Use 5 to 10 pounds per 1,000 square feet annually is what it says here. If you're going to directly deposit it, or it gives you an idea about how much you could use. So if you're creating a mulch that you're going to mulch pretty thickly, you just want to figure out, you know, the square footage of the area, how many inches thick you're going to be applying to the area, and how much ash you're adding to the pile that you're mixing, and you're baking, basically trying to decompose some of the wood chips that you've received over a couple of years. How much wood chips pile you have, how much time will you give it to break down? Because remember, wood chips are going to tie up the nitrogen even as a mulching if you don't have enough nitrogen in the soil for them. And I'll create some more videos about that. I'll be going over that in future videos. So you want to make sure that you're balancing your pH or achieving the optimal pH of the material that you're going for. So if you're doing blueberry bushes or azaleas or whatever, you can go for a lower pH, which would mean you're using less of the ash from your wood stove. Store it properly. You don't want to let your wood ash start to get wet. It's going to form lye, and you can get burnt. You make soap with it. So a balanced approach. Wood ash and charcoal offer significant benefits, as we talked about. It's a way of improving your soil structure and adding appropriate macro and micronutrients as well. And you can harvest some of the byproducts and enhance your garden as well. Learn more, visit our website to learn more tips about sustainable gardening and composting, and watch our upcoming videos for in-depth demonstrations as well. So our website again is mindfullivingsanctuary.com. That's where you can find these articles. And you've got to go through a few pages of the list of the ones. No, I haven't got photos up for those articles yet. One of these days I'll get around to doing that. But anyways, that's today's video. I hope you found it somewhat of value. Please give us a thumbs up if you think this is of value, and by all means feel free to make copies of these articles from our website at mindfullivingsanctuary.com. Take care and stay safe. Bye-bye now.